Hey guys, it's been a really exciting day with the announcement of Black Ops 4, and also along with the announcement, they're talking about the reveal day and then also the official release day. The release day is set almost a month in advance, and a lot of us are starting to speculate like why that could be. Maybe there's no reason for it, but in the history of COD, it's always released in November, so why are they needing this extra time? I had made a post on my Twitter about this, and some people were speculating that maybe it's because of Battlefield 5 that's coming out. Battlefield 1 came out in October 2016, and they released them every 2 years. For Battlefield 1, it was released, I believe, October 21st, 2016, so it's possible that the Battlefield 5 will also release at the end of October. There's not been any official announcement as far as the actual release day, but we know that it's going to be called Battlefield 5 and that it's going to have the game setting of World War II. So yes, we do know this game is coming, but we don't know when the release day is, and people are speculating that maybe Treyarch is trying to beat their release day and release their game a lot earlier. But I don't think that's what's going on. That would make it seem like Treyarch is trying to be competitive with Battlefield and, fight for sales, but, Battlefield doesn't have a history of ever beating Call of Duty in sales, and especially not a Call of Duty that has been developed by Treyarch. Even though Battlefield 1 did pretty well in the sales, it was number 2 as the best-selling game of the year, just underneath Infinity Ward's Infinite Warfare. And that's not saying a lot for Battlefield 1 because Infinite Warfare did pretty poorly, and they even admitted that it did way under record on what they were expecting, and they realized that the space setting did not resonate with the players. So you've got Battlefield 1 not selling as well as Infinite Warfare. Well, let's see how Infinite Warfare stands up against Treyarch's Call of Duties. This chart here shows all the sales of Call of Duty franchise as of January 2018, and this is in units and also in millions. And when you compare Infinite Warfare to Treyarch's recent title, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, they absolutely stomp Infinity Ward into the ground. Treyarch sold over 26 million units of Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare sold less than half of that at 12 million units. So you can see here that I don't think Battlefield is really any kind of competitor for, Treyarch and when they release a Call of Duty. So I don't think that's what they're worried about and trying to, release the game early because of that. If there was a reason for them to release the game earlier and get a head start on things to make more money, it makes sense that they would be looking at things that actually do make more money and not trying to fight out a competitor that is not really a competitor. So let's look at some of the things that actually do make them a lot of money and that are viable options. Well, one thing that stands out based on past reports is the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles DLC 5. The sales of this DLC way surpassed what they were expecting. They were expecting to meet certain sales, based on all platforms like PS4, Xbox, and PC. Well, that target number they were trying to hit, they actually met and surpassed on PS4 before it even came out on Xbox or PC. Here's one report from PlayStation in their blog where they're talking about the top downloads of 2017, and Zombies Chronicles DLC 5 was number 1. It beat out Destiny 2 expansion pack. That is a massive game, and also it beat out the season pass for Call of Duty World War II. I mean, yeah, that's pretty substantial. Us zombie fans have been, crying for more content, and we finally got it, and we showed them just how substantial we really are, and I think we're going to be getting a lot more respect now in the future. In fact, this was so noteworthy that they brought it up to their shareholders in their annual conference, and they talked about it. I'll let you guys listen.
We focus on offering compelling content for our communities wherever they play. Activision had some of the industry's best-selling downloadable content in 2017, including Zombies Chronicles for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which was the number 1 add-on offering of the year for PlayStation North America. This is notable and impressive given that Chronicles came out nearly 2 years after Black Ops 3 launched, and illustrates the value of releasing great content to our engaged communities wherever they are playing.
So like he said, it was 2 years after the release, and they created a DLC that just blew everybody away. And for him to say, that it illustrates the value of releasing great content, yeah, now they're thinking, wow, those sales were crazy and unexpected. How can we do that again? After reviewing all the information, I'm speculating that they're going to have 5 DLC for Black Ops 4. I feel like they want Treyarch to pick up the slack of what's been happening with Infinity Ward. They were completely blindsided by how bad the sales were. They were not expecting that, and they don't want another disaster. They know Treyarch's a sure thing, so they probably want to cram as much content into BO4 as they can, and Treyarch can handle it. I mean, look how content rich their games are compared to the other guys. The next question is, can a full year handle 5 DLCs? Well, I think it can, and I'll show you how. So let's do a little comparison here. We'll start with Black Ops 3. This game released on November 6th, and the last DLC was DLC 4 on September the 6th, and that equals 305 days total. So during a 305-day span, they have all that time to get out 4 DLC. So that kind of spaces the DLC about 76 days apart. Now let's look at BO4 and if it offered 5 DLC. So we know that the game is going to release on October 12th, and if it ended at the same time, September the 6th, with a 5th DLC, that's 329 days. So again, they have 329 days to try to cram in 5 DLC. That would put each DLC about 66 days apart, which is really not that bad. You've got an extra 24 days because of the earlier release time, and then just stealing, like 10 days from each DLC. It could work out. Let's have a look at a calendar here and show you how all that's gonna fall into the days and months. So you see there on the bottom with the orange circle, October 12th is the release. And if they're trying to fit all the DLC in and also take into consideration that there's going to be Xbox and PC a month later, they don't want Xbox and PC to go past like the beginning of October for that last DLC. First thing we can assume is that the first DLC for Black Ops 4 is not going to be the normal like end of January, beginning of February. There's no way they're going to make people wait that long. So if you had 5 DLC and you were to release the first DLC and give it about, 66 days out, that's going to put you on December the 14th, which is a Friday. This is also assuming that Fridays are going to be their release days now. That actually makes more sense because people are going to be getting off for the weekend, and it gives people a lot more time to play and buy the game. And also, how smart would it be from a sales standpoint to have the first DLC fall right before Christmas and when all the kids get out for holiday? I can't see how that wouldn't affect sales to just make it more available and, line kids up with a lot of free time to play it. So it just automatically makes sense that DLC 1 would fall sometime in December or late December, given the early release of the game. Then DLC 2 would be late February, DLC 3 would be late April, DLC 4 would be late June, and then the final 5th DLC would fall nicely on the beginning of September. Then if you add in all the Xbox and PC releases that are going to be a month later, those fall very nicely too, and that puts the very last DLC 5 for Xbox and PC at the beginning of October, and that's perfect. And that's also in line with their last DLC 4 for Xbox and PC for Black Ops 3. It was like October the 6th, so yeah, it's right in line with, that last DLC, and then making room for the next COD. I'm sure they could sell the hell out of this game with 5 DLC and even charge more, and people would be happy to pay it. Why not do a Resurrection 2.0 like they did for the first Black Ops and make the 5th DLC just all of the missing zombie maps? And yeah, definitely multiplayer of course, but yeah, that would sell like crazy. Anyways, this is my idea of why they have made it an early release. I can't think of any other reasons, but let me know what you guys think about this. I'm going to do a poll on my Twitter and find out if you guys would be willing to pay more for this game if it had, a 5th DLC, even with the season pass and everything, maybe like $15 to $20 extra. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next video.